I don't have to have enough power to hurt him. I just got to beat him. That's it. If he slip up, then, you know, he will get hurt.
And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford. A Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time. Finally getting the opportunity.
As the mega fight approaches, Terence Crawford displays unwavering confidence, fully prepared to meet the challenge head-on. On the other side, Canelo Alvarez leans on a wealth of experience, reminding everyone that he's faced and conquered world-class opponents like Crawford before, with both men determined to prove they deserve the throne. Tension continues to rise as the spotlight draws near.
You know, I've been in this sport like so many years. I had so many good fights in my career, and I had the experience to adapt myself to these kind of fighters. I fight everybody out there, every style, and I'm gonna do my job and put all my experience, all my talent there, and that's it.
Crawford enters this bout brimming with self-belief, asserting that no man can stand in his way. His calm, composed demeanor in press conferences reflects a fighter who trusts his skill set and preparation. But beneath that confidence lies a tale of numbers. Canelo has competed in 67 professional fights, many against elite competition. Crawford, though undefeated with 41 bouts, hasn't faced as many high-stakes scenarios. That vast gap in top-tier experience may be crucial once the bell rings, where the smallest in-ring decisions often define victory.
Know how great Terence Crawford is, but they don't know how great Terence Crawford is at 168.
Terence in his bag right now. He's going third person. You feel me? But yeah, like Terence has every right to talk his shit literally here. He's being respectful and fair play, but the questions are the ones he's asking, the ones he knows are being asked. What's he look like at 168? Can he take the power? Is he going to be too small? Is he going to be able to deal with Canelo's experience over time, right? Even though Terence is the older fighter, he has, I think, 20 less fights than Canelo does, or maybe more. I think more than 20. And also, you know, competition level. This will be the most skilled, most experienced, biggest, strongest fighter that Terence Crawford's ever faced.
Throughout his career, Canelo has gone toe-to-toe with boxing's most dangerous names. These tests have refined his stamina, sharpened his strategy, and forced him to evolve constantly. Crawford, while dominant, hasn't faced the same murderers. Row of opponents, no Triple G, no Prime Jacobs, no Mayweather. And that experience gap could tilt the odds when adversity hits in the ring.
Everything is on Terence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that all that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game, and if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion, and he had the oath.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. offers a nuanced perspective. Crawford's key challenge will be absorbing and responding to Canelo's power, while the Mexican powerhouse will bring pressure. Jones insists that boxing is more than brute force. With precise footwork, timing, and ring IQ, a smaller man can outthink and outmaneuver a larger opponent. For Jones, it's all about whether Crawford's technical mastery can survive the storm.
So far, there's some pushing and shoving going on. The weight difference is a big factor as well.
I pay no attention to the pushing and shoving. I pay no attention to the weight factor. What I pay attention to is the skill level that both guys show in and out of the ring. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights. Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not gonna always win them, but he always try to give them to us. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career, I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much. All thing that matter with the weight is can you take the punch? And I'm sure you've been sparring with super middles and light heavies, so I'm sure you probably can take the punch. So that's the only thing when you got skill. Now, if you don't have a skill, you can't take the weight, take it up, because you're gonna lose your punch, you're gonna lose everything. But when you got skill, all your stuff that you have goes up with you.
NBA icon and combat sports enthusiast Shaquille O'Neal isn't holding back. He's picking Crawford to win. Shaq believes Crawford's surgical accuracy and relentless focus give him the edge, even predicting a possible knockout. While bold, his opinion reflects the broader divide among fans and experts as they speculate how these distinct styles will clash.
Everyone's talking about the one fight right now, Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Who do you got?
I gotta go Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford?
Yeah.
Why?
He's the best ever.
Really? You think he's the greatest ever?
Yeah.
Over Ali, Muhammad Ali? I didn't know you were a big Terence Crawford fan like that.
You have to understand that there's eras, and in different eras, you can bring around the titles. Like, for example, Joker's the best big man now.
Right.
And I know, like...
You put Joker over you as the best big man? Oh.
Different eras and different time. It's not my era, not my time now.
True.
It's their time. So he's the greatest big man in the NBA right now. So I let the people decide who's that. But right now, Terence Crawford is the best.
So,
and Floyd, because Floyd has never lost.
So how does Terence beat Canelo? Decision?
He's
or
gonna knock him out.
He's going to knock Canelo out?
Yes, man.
So they're going to have the fight at the Vegas Stadium, Raider Stadium. You're going to be there?
I heard it was off.
No, it's back on.
Okay.
Now it's back on. It's in September 13th in Vegas.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there. Front row?
Of course.
All right, cool. You're the man.
Veteran trainer Robert Garcia sees a potential opening for Crawford. He points to a slight decline in Canelo's recent explosiveness, arguing that the timing of this fight could work in Crawford's favor. For Garcia, strategy, momentum, and recent form might outweigh Canelo's legendary resume.
I would probably say Crawford versus Canelo because it's a fight that that most of the people don't give Crawford a chance because of the size, but he's got skills, man. He's got skills. He's got good speed, good footwork. That's why I do give him a chance.
You do give Crawford.
I do give Crawford a chance, of course. Canelo's last few fights, he does his work. He gets work done, but never does that little extra to please or to. He knows he doesn't need to anymore, so he's just comfortable enough with just securing the win. He became a businessman, and I think that could be something in favor of Crawford, that if he comes out in his best and good footwork, Canelo is flat-footed. He his last fight, especially against the runner, he was throwing one punch at a time. Didn't even try to be aggressive and get him into the ropes, throw combinations of 4 to 5 punches. He never even tried that. So I think at this stage, I am giving Crawford a big chance of maybe pulling it out.
Meanwhile, Manny Pacquiao brings a voice of wisdom to the table. He cautions against direct comparisons, noting that each fighter brings a unique blend of style, strengths, and mentality. Pacquiao encourages fans to appreciate each warrior on their own terms rather than getting lost in legacy debates. This is, after all, a moment to be judged for what it is, two champions colliding in their own time.
Best. What do you make of Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather?
Crawford what?
Better than Floyd Mayweather. Canelo's
Crawford can beat. No, Crawford said Canelo. Canelo said Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think? What's your assessment?
There's a different style, I mean, they're both good fighters, so it's hard to compare yourself to others,
Do you think? Thank you, guys. We gotta go. Mayweather did against Canelo. Do you think he can do any of that?
What, Canelo?
Can Crawford do any of what Mayweather did against Canelo?
That's a good fight, I mean, we'll wait and see.
Thank you.
From Canelo's training camp, reports suggest a heavy focus on cutting off the ring, a tactic designed to limit Crawford's movement and disrupt his rhythm. The goal is clear: trap Crawford, force the exchange, and impose physical dominance. If Canelo succeeds in executing this plan, Crawford could find himself smothered, unable to fight at his preferred distance.
As you see here, Saul Canelo Alvarez reveals his training to cut the ring off against a highly versatile fighter in Terence Bud Crawford coming up September 13th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Terence Crawford have the ability to switch from southpaw to orthodox, and Terence Crawford can also box on his toes and has a lot of power. What y'all think? Will this work? Let me know.
But Crawford's team is locked in. His longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, radiates quiet confidence. He says their preparation has accounted for every possibility, showing deep respect for Canelo, but firm belief in their adaptability. It's not just offense, Bomac explained. You need defense too. We've trained for both. Behind their calm demeanor is a camp that has done the work, with a fighter who is ready for war.
William who? Canelo versus William Skull. Wait, William who? I spent being back in New York over here. Let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the look at it. If you see Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never been a good big man in the history of the game. Unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, this is the truth again. It's a money grab. That's it.
He's too big, and, Crawford, as good as he is, he stepped up with Matrimorph, and he struggled a little bit. He won, but it was more competitive we thought. Well, we didn't understand how good Matrimorph was because we underestimated him because he only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights. He was a good, solid fighter, right? And he's on this card, of course, but he was a good, solid fighter. We didn't understand that, so we started to knock down Crawford a little bit because our expectations.
This isn't just another boxing match. It's a battle of greatness, of eras, of styles, of willpower. On September 13th, there will be no hiding. Only one man will emerge with his hand raised and his legacy elevated. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like, subscribe, and drop your fight predictions in the comments below. This is one for the history books.